What up, y'all? Texas Roots and Fruits. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today, guys, I got a video on my Emperor Lychee tree. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I just wanted to talk about a few things and show you it's struggling a little bit. It's still fine, but we have some work to do to make this tree better. And so that's what I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about today, is what this issue is here. You can see the green veins and the yellow leaves. Here's it still. It's not as bad, but you can still see how much darker the veins of the leaves are compared to the leaf itself. And here's some light green. This is the newest growth. So what this is chlorosis, or intervenal chlorosis. And all that really means is that your tree is having a hard time intaking like iron, and could be like manganese and zinc. So that's really the problem, and then you have to really find out what the problem is. So this is by far my hardest tree to deal with out of all my plants and fruit trees and everything. This one is by far the most fussy, and you need to make sure that your soil is just right and it's getting the proper nutrients. But they're also kind of sensitive to nutrients as well, from what I've learned and seen. So, you know, they're kind of tricky, and it's definitely a tree that you need to put in some time and research and maybe a little bit of experimentation to figure out what works best and how to make this tree successful and thrive. So like I said, chlorosis is not able to intake nutrients or the micronutrients like iron. So there's a couple things that problem is usually derived from. First one is your soil, or next one is your water. So first thing what you would really want to do, and I haven't done it yet but I need to, is you want to get a soil tester and test your soil. Lychee trees and most fruit trees like acidic soil. I really don't think my soil's the issue, because I really set this up in the beginning to have an acidic soil. Now that doesn't mean you can't just leave it forever and it's fine. You do have to keep amending it with like I have peat moss in here, compost, and topsoil. But next year, or maybe soon, depending how this tree does, I need to put some more peat moss in here, because peat moss is good for acidity. It's well draining, and it'll just make sure the water drain. That's another problem, so you need to make sure that your water is draining well. So yeah, I don't think it's the soil for me, but definitely if you have the chlorosis, definitely check your soil. That's kind of your first step. As you can see, I've loaded it up with pine needles and stuff like that as well, to kind of try to help out the soil. Next thing, like I said, is the water. So for me, I definitely think, just because I know my area and I know my trees, I definitely think it's the water here. The water here in Texas, the tap water, the hose water, is definitely high, has high alkaline. So lots of minerals and calcium, and that's the problem. So you keep watering this tree with the tap water or the hose water, and it's just dumping more of those minerals and calcium in here, which then makes it I think it also compacts the dirt, the soil, and it just starts making the nutrients, the roots of the tree, harder and harder to uptake those specific micronutrients that they need. So I think really that is the main problem for me, and something that I need to work on. It's hard because I don't have a filter. I mean, I do have this, but it's by far not, the end all be all. I'm sure it helps out a little bit, but it's still not the greatest thing. But I do want to try to eventually get a filtration system for my house, or start rainwater collection system, which is probably the first thing that I'll do. I just haven't got around to that yet, but I have been, every time it's been raining, I've been collecting water and watering it with that as much as possible without using the hose water. So just keep that in mind. A lot of plants are sensitive to our tap water, as you guys know, but some are worse than others. Like my mangoes and stuff, I mean, I'm sure obviously if they just had pure rainwater or not hose water, they'd be doing better, but they look really good. I don't see all this leaf burn and all, the yellowing and all that stuff. So here's the remedy of what I'm doing to make this tree better. So I told you the first things, it could be the soil or the water, and then here's some solutions to help you with those problems. So the first thing you want to get if your plant is chlorotic is something like this, chelated liquid iron. So I've so far given the lychee tree 2 treatments of this. Basically, what I should have probably been doing from the beginning is kind of giving this on a monthly basis. I'll show you guys the directions here. Let's see. Where are they at? I know they're on here somewhere. I can't find them. Am I just missing them through the camera? I don't even see it right now. But what it is, I think it was a tablespoon per gallon of water. I looked it up. Maybe it's not on there and I looked it up. But I'm pretty sure I was doing a tablespoon per gallon of water. Don't quote me on that because it could be a teaspoon. But it's a teaspoon or tablespoon. And I filled that up with a gallon of water and I dumped it in here. And I think that that's helping, because if you see this new growth, right, it's still young, so it's still a light green, and yes, the vein is still dark, but I want to see what happens to this new growth as it matures. Does it start, I mean, these have burn on them too, right? But if they start turning a darker green like this leaf used to be, these are old leaves from last year, this is winter burn. But I want to see if these, because honestly, the leaves themselves look pretty healthy compared to the old ones. So yeah, I just want to see once these leaves mature, like mango trees, they come out sometimes red or brown. I want to see once these leaves mature, if they start turning that dark green, and see if the tree is starting to uptake nutrients properly. So the other thing that I'm using is this stuff by Bloom City. It's clean kelp. So just an organic kelp extract, and I'm just using that as a foliar spray. So I'm doing it 2 times a week. I'm spraying Monday and Friday, and honestly, since I've sprayed that, all this right here is basically has been new growth. So like I said, I don't know if it's perfect yet. I don't think it is. I think I need to keep amending the soil. I probably need to put some more peat moss in here, and I definitely need to test it, because you want, for lychee trees, you want it to be like 5.5 to 6.5 for the pH level. And anything over that, you definitely need to amend your soil and get it more acidic. So maybe that could be part of the issue, but I really think that my water has just screwed up the soil in a sense where it just can't uptake the nutrients that are in it. So that clean kelp, that by Bloom City, will help with the micronutrients, and then the chelated liquid iron will be the supplement you want to add into your soil, and that could help. Just be careful with this stuff. You can add too much and it'll kind of have the reverse effect, so you need to monitor it. Like I said, I've done this about once a month for the past 2 months, and I think it has made an improvement. I still have work to do and tests and experiments, because I mean the tree is not dying, it just doesn't look great. It's just deficient, the nutrients. So I'm going to keep working on that. Just keep in mind, if you're adding this stuff to the soil, it doesn't mean that like these leaves are going to all of a sudden turn green. So if you're adding stuff, don't freak out if these leaves, your old leaves, aren't changing, because nothing's really going to happen, because they're kind of already set in stone. So you want to look for your new growth that's coming out and see how those look. And then that's how you can kind of determine if you're adding enough nutrients or doing the right thing. So just keep that in mind. That's why I said I'm going to keep an eye on these. This one kind of looks more yellow in the camera than it is in person, but it still looks a little bit chlorotic, I'm going to guess. Like I said, I'm new to this too, guys. I'm just experimenting and learning as I go. And if you guys have lychee trees, definitely leave a comment and let me know what works for you, and if you guys kind of have any routine as far as nutrient uptakes or different fertilizers, or what you guys use, because lychee trees are sensitive. So I don't use any kind of hard, it has to be organic, I think mostly for lychee trees from my understanding, because their roots are very sensitive. So the only thing that I'll use on this for nutrients is this clean kelp. I've used it to put in the soil as well as for a foliar spray. So you can use it either way. For the weekly sprays, I spray it, but then once a month I've been dumping that clean kelp into here. So like I said, if you guys have any more tips and tricks, definitely leave them in the comments. But we're gonna keep doing this, and you know, I want to show you guys, like I said, my successes, and this isn't quite a failure yet, and I think it'll be fine in the long run. I just have to pay attention to it more than I was. And so in the future, hopefully, I'm thinking I left this on. I'm probably just going to cut these off, but I left these on so I could show you guys kind of the different stages of what this chlorosis looks like. So that's why I kind of left them. They're ugly, but this one's not as bad. These are kind of yellow again, and then these are the new growth, and they look pretty good. I think there's definitely an improvement for sure. But yeah, so I think that about covers it, guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll keep updating you guys on this once I see some more improvement or changes, and let you guys know what happens to this tree. I think it'll be fine. I just gotta pay more attention. Like I said this year in my other videos, this year I've been really focusing on fertilizing my trees and understanding what they need. And because the first year, you know, all the soil that you plant is mostly fine, and then it's this years after that you need to start, you know, supplementing nutrients or adding, or you know, all that stuff. So that's the part that I'm really focusing on this year for all my trees. And I'm gonna have an update video soon, a full tour of my backyard with everything. I almost got everything set up. I got 4 more things to pot, and then I'm gonna do a full tour. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you guys stuck it out the whole way, please subscribe. It helps me out. And you guys have a good day. Texas Roots and Fruits out.